I can hear it a little bit.
And I ran up. I took the stairs all the way up. Gamble, I gotta stretch it out.
You need to get fit for 2023.
Dude, I am going to be fabulous at 50 is what I keep telling myself. I am using technology to try to help me get there. I'm wearing some of it right now. I don't want to admit it. I think we talked about this once before, but my daughter's boyfriend, I mean, I hope he's not listening, but he's like micro steps, at a time. But he got me these really cool earbuds for Christmas.
What?
And they're pretty cool. And so I like to ride my bike, and it's not in my ear, so I still can hear my environment.
Okay.
But they, work off of the outside and go in. But whenever I'm available and I have time, like now, I like to stretch it out, and these help. Stretch it out. So I need to get my last two in. One.
Actually, I saw a lot of headphones during the CES coverage, and one of them was not too dissimilar to what you described there. So it was women's earrings that just attached in the normal position where you would have earrings, but they were wireless headphones, and they didn't go in ear. They just directed the sound from the normal earring position, and you would not know that person had earrings on.
You know what? One of my texts for Christmas, he got me this little Star Trek Bluetooth speaker microphone that was a magnet. It's like a classic piece. It's really cool. I need to bring it up here one day. But it connects straight to my phone, and it's like doo-doo-doo whenever I want to answer the phone. I actually don't like to bring it out because it's that kind of cool special deal, I don't really want to wear it out. But it's pretty slick, man. I'll have to bring it up here.
They should do one like the Star Trek logo. The Star Trek
people. I mean, it's exactly that. That's what I'm saying. Wow. I mean, it's the shape, it's the whole build out. It's not a 3D print. It's like a collector's thing. It was a nice gift. My guys are really nice to me. I have to say that. They're really nice to me. They give me some good presents and things like that for Christmas. And also back to these are pretty cool. I like these. I've been working on them. But also, staying fit. I use like Strava for my bike rides, and so it kind of maps out where I'm riding and what my elevation is and what my average speed is. I like using technology with that and capturing the moment, because it also says, hey, share a picture.
Okay.
And usually on my rides, like right now, Gamble, what I've been doing, and this is kind of part of our topic because we really haven't talked about what our topic is. And I guess we'll do that. We'll hit the button and then we'll get into our topic. That's a good setup, right? I mean,
go for it.
People are ready, right?
Let's get into it.
Today's episode is 157. Is that right?
Correct.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. And to be honest with you, Gamble and I are both right up to the edge today, and we're just going for it. We really don't know what each other want or what you really, really want. And so this episode is based on thinking and expanding your mind on what you want, what you really, really want. I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. Talk to me.
I'll go in that direction. I'm ready. Like, I'm so flexible. I don't need to stretch.
I do. Push the button, bro. Let's go, Michael. All right, digital ramblers and new viewers or listeners, thank you for joining us on the Digital Ramble Show, where Chris and I, we try to get together on a weekly basis where we come and talk about home and small light commercial technology solutions. and what our experiences that we have in the environment with the technology that we use, and we share it with our listeners like y'all.
Yeah, and the title of the show is kind of two pronged. I'd like to know what JJ really wants, whether that's for his business, the direction he wants to, you know, send his installations, things that he wants to see from manufacturers. That's one direction. And then the other is it's a question that for this year ahead, it's a question I want to ask all my customers, and especially the existing customers. I really want to, because there's an argument to say, go out, get new customers all the time, new customers, new customers. But sometimes when you go in that direction, you neglect all your existing customers. And if you're not constantly asking them, what do you need, or what would you like from us? Is there anything you'd like to do with your setup, with your wiring, with your existing tech? How do you know? Basically, you should build your whole business around that. What do your customers really want? And I've got some keywords that I've gathered just in this last week of what I'm hearing and extracting from emails and text conversations, what customers actually really want. So what way do you want to start this off? Do we go what we really want, or what we think our customers really want?
Man, I for me, and as you're talking about that, Gamble, it's something that I've been doing as research in the background for me, and really, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And I did a lot of talking on the front side. You go ahead and share, because I don't want to get long winded, because you know how I do it. Sometimes I go double barrel, cannon fire,
Okay.
and the show will be over. So
don't don't
go
don't
ahead. But what I want to talk about is safety, privacy,
Mhm.
decentralization is what I'd like to go with. And that's what
Let's
I
go with it.
really, really want. I think that's what our clients really, really want, but they don't know that they really, really want it.
Look, I wrote down 5 words, and you've just given me two of them. So privacy and security, similar
Mm-hmm.
similar vein. And there's like a physical element to that, and then there's a virtual element to both of those. And privacy is something that we're, in some respects, we're quick to give away, whether it's signing up for things, allowing things to track us, and advertisement, and um, to be cross sold to from apps and websites, things like that. And then, but physically, our privacy, we, we're so respectful of others, but give away our own. You can do a lot physically in your home to increase the privacy. You can do same with security, physical and virtual things to do. So what would be a scenario where a customer is asking you for, where's our industry able to provide privacy for a customer?
Chris, I really think that we are on the front edge of what is really we're being made aware of. We always kidded about, oh yeah, they're listening in, or surfacey. Everybody knew, it's surfacey. I think it goes a lot deeper than our expectations, and I do not have control personally, nor do any of our clients have control of anything in their digital lives. And I think there's other platforms that are being developed that allow you to control where you place your profiles and your information. And if it is no longer needed in that environment, you can easily extract it from that area, in the sense that if I have an app that I no longer want to participate in, I know where all of my content is in that app, and I can personally extract it myself, and I can have control. Currently, we don't have that kind of control. It's once it goes on there, who knows where it went. and there is no extracting once it's on that type of platforms that are there now. And it's called Web3. I believe I'm in the right vocabulary, and I am not an expert. Let's put that down at the bottom, Michael. I am not an expert in this by any means, but I know that there are opportunities that are on the horizon that can truly give us that personalization of our own control of our identity and our content. And that really interests me. And I think it really interests our clients as well, because it provides you privacy and understanding where your content is.
Yeah, and I think, tying it in with technology, people have made a lot of purchases over the last 10 plus years on gadgets, on devices, things that they've, stopped using, but, they're still an active profile or an active user. They've still got data stored with some big tech company, and they may have just, stopped using it, but it might have associations with things like maybe your Google account, your Apple ID, any payment details. If you started to dig into it, you'd have a full-time job. So I think there needs to be better education of how we manage, and this is for all of us. What do they teach kids in school? Maybe they should teach them stuff like this. But how do they manage their digital presence, their their redundant tech experiences, their redundant profiles and usernames that, you can think, even social media platforms that you don't use anymore, the stuff's still there. Everything you said, your views. If you think about people when they go for a job interview, somebody could dig me up for a tweet I sent in 2013 when I said I didn't like X, or I had a, I didn't think, or maybe I shared a political view, and that might be a black mark against me for, you know, a job that I'm going for, or
Well, well,
somebody that
or
paid
worse,
for something.
it's not anything that you did at all, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can
There you
be
go. Yeah.
CGI and
Mm,
faked, And so if you have no control of your content,
mm.
then it's very difficult, to sometimes just discredit some of those things. But yeah, absolutely.
So maybe, yeah, maybe there needs, some kind of
So that's what I
privacy
really, really,
privacy
really
button,
want.
some kind
Yeah.
of privacy button that we can press. We don't have that freedom with the tech that we've got in our hands, our pockets, attached to our wall, in the fabric of our building. We don't actually have other than the advertised things like VPNs, firewalls, that kind of thing, which people still don't fully get. VPN, oh yeah, I can watch Netflix in Spain. Wow. But they're maybe not even understanding what that's doing. And things that they think they're doing to be good, like incognito mode, that still shares. If you're using a work computer, a school computer, that those holes are not plugged because it's a shared asset. You think you're being private, but you're not.
Oh man, I shared a video with you a while back, Gamble, of this guy. He had two phones, and one phone was in airplane mode, and the other phone
Mm.
was turned off completely. And he wanted to see if, when he turned them on, if Google tracked him to whatever locations he was at. And he turned them on. He connected both of them to the Wi-Fi, and then went through the history. And bro, it it had him tracked at all the
Yeah,
different
like
sites that he
Strava.
went. Yeah, around. Well, the phones were turned off and in airplane
Yeah,
mode. So
but it's
how's
the
it
same kind of
tracking?
same kind of feature as Strava. It's big tech has given this plug-in to apps and platforms, but it's the same tracking. Whatever they're doing when it's on, they can do it when it's off.
I like that. I don't mind it, but I want to have control.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, it's very, like, unless I go and look,
Mm.
and like we were talking on last week's episode, and if you haven't checked it out, it's coming out. I think we're uploading it right now. Apologize. Didn't. Anyways, check it out. But we were talking about all the websites that had your username and passwords on it, or that on devices that were old devices that you hadn't used or that I hadn't used in years, or Netflix accounts, and I want one simple area that I can see where am I, and I can click it on and off and control all the content that is in those environments.
And when you mentioned decentralized, what would be a quick summary on what that would lead us into, where that could give us some freedom?
Well, here's we were talking earlier about, hey, this is a great show. I'm going to get my tinfoil hat out, and on this one, and for me, it's like uh, proof of work, and in the sense of financial environments. Like I really have been watching Bitcoin for quite some time, and what I like about Bitcoin is it's proof of work. It's true. If I have something to give, you have something to receive, and it's all done on mathematics. There is no there is no failure when it comes to Bitcoin, and there's no once it fulfills its 21 million uh, Bitcoin, then there is no inflation associated with it. The value of the Bitcoins increase. Even if they're lost and never used, nothing more is ever generated. So it can't be manipulated, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, but and it's proof of, and you can also take ownership of it. Currently, we have no ownership. And so decentralized, back to your question, means that it goes out. It um, If you have to ask permission to access your money, that means somebody controls your money. If you have to ask somebody to use your money or hold your money, then that's a permission on my money, as well as somebody is benefiting from using my money at the same time.
Mm.
Decentralizing that says I want to be in possession of what I want to do with my money. I want to be responsible of all my money, not just a couple of $100, but all of my money. And whenever I do business with somebody, or in wherever they might be, anywhere in the world, that's my business, and it's nobody else's business, regardless of what that business might be. For us, it'd be about technology, and but I don't feel like paying a commission when there's opportunities of proof of work and honesty that can be done through transactions. And so I like Bitcoin. It works through a decentralized, and what decentralized means is a device that runs the Bitcoin formula, and a computer or a phone or any device that actually has the software running on it is a node. And whenever you say, hey, JJ, you owe me $1 or one Satoshi, let's say that, which is a fraction of what a Bitcoin is. It's a 100 millionth of a Bitcoin is one Satoshi. And so whenever you ask for, let's say, for one Satoshi, I can pay that to you instantly from anywhere in the world, and you can receive the services of whatever you asked me to program for you at your house, for example. And yeah. Let me take
No,
my
I
tip
get, I
on
get
that.
it. I get it. I get it. And that's, hey, these are future transactions that we're going to have to navigate, whether it's in our businesses, whether it's when we travel, is our children are going to probably deal with these new payment
But
methods.
it also builds honesty,
Mm. What I like
evaluation.
is I like the fact that you know what you've got is what you've got. There's not like any borrowing and interests, and you see that currently like these crazy interest rates for people borrowing when really they don't have any means to really pay back, but they're borrowing and again and again and again. The hole gets deeper. Maybe it
Somebody's got to
sees an
pay
end
for
to
it.
that, but then what happens when people are left in the old system when we move forward. That's where I think there could be dramatic. Well, some people you'll be in both camps for sure, but there's going to be black markets. There's going to be
there is now.
I know, but yeah. But other things will still remain strong. Gold, silver,
absolutely.
These natural materials are actually still quite a wise thing to hold. I think cash is still quite good to have a little reserve of cash if you can. In the days of keeping it under your mattress, maybe coming back. So security, privacy, physical security, we talk about that enough. For me, that is something that people are reviewing. End of last year, beginning of this year, camera upgrades, alarm system upgrades, just asking for new ways to track assets. So we've started deploying things, air tags, I think are going to feature a lot for us this year, just putting cool. It into some people's vehicles, personal belongings of high value, maybe sporting goods, electronic items, things like that.
I have a friend of ours, and she puts those little Apple ID tags on all of her dogs. And
wow, yeah,
she kind of lets them run loose out, in their property area. And if she gets concerned, she just takes a look on her phone and she can track right to them and see exactly where they are. And I am an Android guy, but I have to say that's a pretty cool feature on the iPhone.
Yeah, if everyone uses it with the best intentions, there's a lot of ulterior methods that they're using them for, and I see that. You just do a Google search, and there's some pretty sinister things happening with them because of the accuracy and the long battery life and the concealment of them. It's some real.
She says that if you have an iPhone and you get in the environment, that it alerts you and lets you know that there's one in your proximity, like in your environment. Do you have any of them? Have you used one yet?
Just in my laptop bag, which it's normally no more than 200 or 300 meters from me. I can't think of any.
She said that if I have like an iPhone and I hop in the car with you, because I have an iPhone, it would let me know that, hey, there's a tag in your environment.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll check that.
So that this type of privacy issue, but I don't know. I'm sure there's a hack. I'm sure there's some mischievous people out there, but for the most part, I think it's secure. But I like it for certain things. Definitely for like my work trucks. Definitely for my satchels. Those kind of things I think would be very valuable. Like whenever I got my truck broken into, oh my gosh, that dude's so lucky that I didn't have a tracker on that son of a gun. Oh my god! Here in Texas,
just the
oh my lord!
Oh yeah, in Texas, yeah. Yeah, that's the risky run, I guess. But just those physical changes to your security, a camera upgrade, the video quality, the audio quality that you'll get from that, the new features, and sometimes, you're not changing anything physically. You're just taking old camera off. It might even fit the same mounting plate or anything like that, and put in the new camera. But all of a sudden, you've got, could be 4K video, could be, some really high quality audio, motion detection, scheduling, motion zones, those kind of things. Look into that if you want to bolster your security this year. Two other keywords I had was, and this is kind of what customers are asking me for this year, they want from us enhanced support. They want better support than they've had in the past. And this is something our industry's got to deal with. As our demand for our industry increases, we've all got to get better at supporting our customers. And then the other one is the reliability, which kind of goes hand in hand. So if your system's more reliable, the support demands could be less. reliability has to come from manufacturers. Then from the manufacturer, we have to professionally install it to a high standard, and all those things will increase the reliability.
Absolutely. We got 5 minutes left. Gamble, I don't know, man. When you told me the topic was what you want, what you really, really want, I went like tinfoil land, and you went
That's fine.
with more, feet planted on the ground,
No,
safe. And
no.
you just let me go out there. I told you that when we teed the show up, that we were getting out on the edge, that we were gonna like, you know, but I guess I was thinking we went like that.
No.
Well, our audience knows. They can see that we got, a couple of decent episodes prior to this one. If this one doesn't work out for you, please check out one of our other 146 episodes. And you can tell us, at least down in the comments, what you want, what you really, really want. But Gamble, you know what? I think, unfortunately, yes. Again, security is what people want, and it is with cameras and with alarm systems, and unfortunately, we've been providing security for quite some time, and I'd like to see what other kinds of opportunity of security that I have to provide my clients. Like, what opportunities are our clients vulnerable to? And I really think there's a digital space that they are desperately underserved in, when it comes to that kind of security. I'm also looking at Guard Dog, which is a cybersecurity tool that works on and protects your devices on the network from being hacked, and from our clientele from being held hostage, with whatever content that a hacker might try to get from them. And so I think there's security in other areas that our clients are desperately in need of, and they just don't quite understand it yet.
Do you know what
And
I'd like to see more with security? And I kind of looked on the CES content. I wanted to see drone security systems, drone security
like those
cameras.
rings, oh,
Yeah, but
what? We got to
something
get Rich Way
outdoor,
on here. Yeah.
something outdoor, something that knows your perimeter, does not exceed a height, does not go beyond a limit. But you know, old school is guard dogs, foot patrols,
Yeah.
maybe neighborhoods. Imagine your neighborhood signed up for a drone. It sounds a bit RoboCop style, but it's got to be coming, because the drones are so advanced now and so portable, and long battery life, good video quality.
As long as I am in control and is
Yeah.
decentralized and running on my node, I might be all right with that. Other than that, no.
Yeah.
Like, I want no drone that I have to subscribe to somebody to monitor my house. I want to buy my own drone that I control if it flies around my house when I want it to. So that's what I'm talking about, man, is that kind of privacy. Like, yeah, absolutely. That's super cool. That would be great. But I want to be in control. And that's the scary part, is not being in control. And I think there's a way.
Well, that's you have to almost start pedaling backwards then, don't we? Have we gone so far down the road, or are we reaching the end of one road and we're at a junction now? Do we keep going, or do we go down?
There's generations ahead.
Yeah.
So, like our parents said, I'm doing it for the kids.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, friends, share with us down below. That was kind of deep. All right, I like my tinfoil hat.
We'll go deep.
I might get lost in my words sometimes, but honestly, I think I'm on to something. I really do.
We're going to continue.
Haven't been proven wrong yet.
My kind of way I'd like to go the next few episodes, JJ, I want to just freestyle it a bit. I want to kind of extract maybe a bigger topic that I think can bring in other people, because if we can start to look at this junction of directions to go, there could be multiple directions. Can we get some people on that can fill in more blanks, some signpost us in other ways,
or at least get some good conversation going? I think there's a lot of opportunity for conversation out there. All right, bro, we're out of time.
Okay, let's go.
Digital Ramblers, thank you so much for joining us again. Check us out on our website, digitalrambleshow.com. Shoot us an email. Better yet, just drop us a message. You can find us on 11 podcast streaming services. Until next time, if you don't know, find yourself a home tech pro.